Modi's Israel visit sees tensions over Israel's Supreme Court chief's exclusion. UN chief decries global rise of rule of force. Blizzard warnings mount as fierce snowstorm hits U.S. British, Chinese nationals among 19 killed, dozens injured, in massive Nepal bus accident. As Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi prepares for a two-day visit to Israel from February 25 to 26, political tensions are rising in Jerusalem. Modi is expected to address the Knesset and meet Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and President Isaac Herzog. However, opposition leader Yair Lapid has warned that he may boycott Modi's parliamentary address unless Israel's Supreme Court President, Yitzhak Amit, is invited to attend, as is customary. Lapid says excluding the Chief Justice would cause enormous embarrassment during the visit of a major global leader. He stressed that the issue is not about boycotting India, but about respecting democratic norms. Israel has been deeply divided over judicial reforms for more than 2 years. Justice Minister Yariv Levin has refused to formally recognize Amit as Chief Justice, and Amit has been excluded from several official events, including speeches by foreign leaders. Lapid argued that failing to invite the Supreme Court president would leave the Knesset half-empty and damage Israel's image during an important diplomatic moment. Knesset Speaker Amir Ohana accused Lapid of politicizing the visit and harming Israel's relationship with India for domestic political gain. In response, Lapid said boycotting a foreign leader would indeed be wrong, but insisted that the government should resolve the matter by inviting the Supreme Court president in line with parliamentary tradition. United Nations Secretary-General Antonio Guterres has warned that human rights are under what he called a, quote, full-scale attack around the world. Speaking at the opening of the UN Human Rights Council in Geneva, Guterres said the rule of law is increasingly being replaced by what he described as the rule of force. He said the erosion of rights is happening openly and in many cases led by powerful nations. While not naming specific countries in most cases, Guterres strongly criticized Russia's ongoing war in Ukraine. He noted that more than 15,000 civilians have been killed in 4 years of conflict and said it is long past time for the violence to end. He also pointed to what he described as serious human rights violations in the occupied Palestinian territories, warning that the two-state solution is being steadily undermined. Beyond war zones, Guterres said rights are being weakened globally. He warned of growing inequality, rising debt, collapsing humanitarian funding, and the accelerating impacts of climate change. He also expressed concern about the misuse of artificial intelligence, saying it is increasingly being used in ways that suppress rights and deepen discrimination. The UN chief stressed that international human rights laws are not optional. He said global leaders cannot choose which principles to follow and which to ignore. A powerful winter storm is sweeping across the northeastern United States, bringing blizzard conditions, widespread travel bans, and states of emergency. Driving bans are now in effect across large parts of the region as residents brace for heavy snowfall and dangerous winds. Blizzard warnings have been issued for New York City, Long Island, Boston, and coastal areas across Delaware, Maryland, New Jersey, Connecticut, Rhode Island, and Massachusetts. States of emergency have been declared in New York, New Jersey, Delaware, Rhode Island, Connecticut, and Massachusetts. The National Weather Service warns that blizzard conditions are rapidly developing, with snowfall totals of 1 to 2 feet expected in many areas, accompanied by strong winds and near-zero visibility. Nearly 54 million people are believed to be in the storm's path. In New York City, visibility dropped sharply Sunday evening, with parts of the skyline barely visible. Mayor Zohran Mamdani imposed a ban on non-emergency travel from 9 p.m. Sunday until noon Monday, calling it the most severe storm the city has faced in nearly a decade. Broadway performances were canceled, schools and public institutions closed, and outreach teams urged homeless residents to seek shelter. Across the country, thousands of flights were canceled or delayed. In New Jersey, Governor Mikey Sherrill declared a state of emergency, warning of heavy snow, high winds, and possible coastal flooding. Boston officials also ordered public schools and municipal buildings to close. At least 19 people have died and dozens more were injured after a passenger bus veered off a mountain highway in Nepal early Monday. The bus was traveling from Pokhara to the capital, Kathmandu, when it drove off the Prithvi highway shortly after midnight, according to police. Authorities say the vehicle rolled down a steep slope and came to rest on the banks of the Trishuli River near Benighat, approximately 80 kilometers west of Kathmandu. Among the dead is a 24-year-old British national. By early afternoon, only 9 of the victims had been formally identified, according to local police in Dading district. Several foreign nationals were also among the injured. A Chinese citizen was admitted to the National Trauma Center for treatment. A 27-year-old woman from New Zealand sustained minor injuries and is being treated at a local hospital. Earlier reports from Xinhua News Agency, citing the Chinese embassy in Nepal, indicated that another Chinese national was initially reported missing.